All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Right on, right on, right on, right on. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's balmy outside and it's Monday. So, wanted to talk about a couple of things very, very quick. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a social media marketing strategist, residual income strategist, father of 5 awesome kids, husband to an awesome wife, dad to an awesome dog, with a goal to have no more empty refrigerators. So thanks for swinging by. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I get a chance to see you guys on here. The software that I'm using isn't pulling my feed in from where I'm pushing out to. So hopefully they'll get that fixed. Not the end of the world. I'm going to keep going anyway. I'm actually going to pull myself up over here so I can see any comments that might come in while I'm hollering at you, hollering at you, hollering at you. So very exciting month. Very exciting month. April in our company, April in our company was its best month ever. We're on our way to being a $50 billion company. And the cool thing about it is we just got started. So excited about that. We're ranked #1 in some other deal. I mean, it's just absolutely cool. Cool. So first of all, for all my challengers that took me up on the prospecting 53 people a day, let's go. Let's rock. Let's crush it. Hey, Marilla, thanks for. I think I said that right. I've got my glasses on, but there's still really small print over there, so I hope I'm saying that right. Thanks for swinging by. Really appreciate that. I'm actually looking over on my iPad because people's feed for some reason. Oh, there you are. You just popped in on the feed, so cool. So it looks like it's working. That's good. Hey, Michelle McKenzie, thanks for swinging by. Really appreciate it. So thanks for stopping by. So a couple of things. One is 3 things that we've got to do every single day. It's just like there's one purpose in life that we have, and that's to get more people in front of presentations. That's it. That's our goal. So how do we back our way into that? We reach out to a lot of people. So personally, and I just did this. We just came off a team call. Every Monday night, our team has a team call, and we get on there, and our diamond goes on and just talks about some training stuff, which is really cool. And we've come up with a new phrase. It's called the 15th is the new 30th, which is the end of the month. And one of the things that I really liked about this is that our CEO had a call a couple of days ago that I was on. He really talked about, how he came up and very competitive guy, was the junior Mr. Olympian when he was 16, just ripped like top to bottom, Mr. Muscle. But his goal was, when he started with his coaching, he would always do 5 more. So every time somebody sets the goal, I'm a little bit competitive. I like it. I'm a little bit red. Sometimes I get a little bit snarky because I'm competitive, and some people take it wrong. But it's all about pushing me to the next level. It's usually not about anybody else. It's always about me. I always compete with myself. So one of the things that I did was, you can tell I'm like in super jack mode right now because I'm talking real fast. I'm drinking coffee over here. I'm getting ready to eat some breakfast for dinner, which is really cool. Yeah, it's 10:30 at night, and I'm going to go eat. So that's what I do. So I love it. So anyway, so if you're like me and you're struggling, I had a really cool conversation with one of my teammates today. Just really cool, trying to figure out what to organize her and get her in line so she can sort of take it to the next level. So I threw some prospecting ideas out there and just narrowed down the focus and said, here's what we do. Our primary focus is prospecting, is reaching out. That's what we do. And if you want more results, guess what? You got to reach out to more people. The cool thing about reaching out to more people is it creates more results. Now in Rank Makers, it says you shouldn't be addicted to the results. But here's what's really cool is when you get addicted to my activity, when I get addicted to my activity, what happens is the more activity I do, the more results I get. So by default, I'm addicted to the results, because the more results I get, the more activity I want to do, the more prospecting I want to do, because I'm getting the results. So again, it's a full circle, comes around. So there's 3 things that we need to do if we're going to explode our business and grow our business. So how do I back into this? So my goal that I set up, and I know I'm all over the place because I'm jacked for this month. I'm looking for some crazy promotion, so I'm putting it out there into the field. So 7, 14, 21, and 28. Here's what my challenge is, you guys. Put these dates on your calendar: 7, 14, 21, and 28. Now, in our company, we have a thing that's called It Takes 2, and it's basically it takes 2 by the month. So what we did was we shortened that down to the 15th, make the 15th the new 30th. So if we focus on getting our 2 by the 30th, guess what? We've got 15 more days to get if we focus on getting our 2 by the 15th, we've got 2 more days to get our next 2 by the 30th. So I was like, okay, let's think about our CEO who said do 5 extra. So I backed that down and said, my goal is going to get 2 by the 7th, 2 by the 14th, 2 by the 21st, 2 by the 28th, 2 by the 7th, 2 by the 14th, 2 by the 21st, 2 by the 28th. Want to know why? Because every single month has 7, 14, 21, and 28 in it. And focusing on that based on my prospecting habits, I'm going to ramp up my prospecting, which means I have to reach out to more people. I have to put more people in front of the presentation. When I put people in front of the presentation, it's going to create follow-ups. When I create follow-ups, I've got to engage with these people and make sure that I'm putting them into the system, putting them in front of the presentation and move them through the pipe and doing whatever I need to do to get them plugged in and get them to take action, get them plugged in to get to a getting started training and move them through the system. It really should be that simple. Anything else outside of that is probably not duplicatable. Now, my goal is 7, 14, 21, and 28. That's probably not a duplicatable goal for a lot of people if you're brand new, right? If you're brand new, you're going, what? What's he talking about? The goal isn't really relevant. The goal is to set it out there, because if we're not tracking and measuring every single thing we do inside a goal. So I know, for example, if I miss the goal by the 7th, if I don't get the 2 by the 7th, at least I can look at where I ended up by the 7th, and I can keep tracking for the goal to the 14th. So to say I get 1 by the 7th and I put 2 more in by the 14th, I can then look back at the numbers and say I reached out to this many people between now and the 14th, and I was able to put in 3 people. So now I'm a person behind, right? So I can look at that number and say, okay, if I need to catch that person up plus get 2 more, because by the 21st I'd have to have 6, right? So I've got to get 2 more plus 1. So I need to take a look at that number that got me to get to 3. And sometimes there's a rule of 72 and some math in there that you can't control, because you can't really tell when somebody's going to enroll. You can't guarantee they're even going to watch the presentation. So you've got to reach out to more people. So I can look at just a raw data number. I'm probably freaking some people out right now. They're going, what the heck is he talking about? Track and measure what you do. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're going. You have to track and measure it. I can tell you this, when I get in a car and I go somewhere and I know my average speed, I know the average distance, I can estimate what time I'm going to get there within 2 or 3 street lights, because street lights are about 45 seconds. So I can estimate about, that's how weird my brain works. I can estimate how long it's going to take me to get from here to there based on the distance that I have to travel over with my speed over time. So knowing that in my head, I can calculate the time I'm going to get there, because I can measure that. So I know if I'm going to drive from here to Denver and it's 1,300 miles, the average speed is probably going to average about 68 miles an hour. I can calculate that and figure it's going to take me how many hours to get to Denver, of course, with some potty breaks in the middle, because every time I stop at a truck stop or a gas and go or whatever it is, I'm probably going to accelerate my speed way above the 68 to go faster to catch up to my overall average time. I said all that to say this. So between the 1st and the 7th, I'm going to measure how many people I reached out to see what kind of result I get. If I enroll 1 person, great. If I don't enroll anybody, guess what? I've reached out to a lot of people. So my primary thing that I can do is be addicted to my activity. I'm not going to get discouraged because I didn't enroll 2 people. I'm just going to keep going, and then somebody's going to come in, and I can take a look at those numbers, and I can say I reached out to so many people, and I got somebody in a role. And here's the cool thing about it is, all those people that I reached out to over that time frame, some of those people are going to come back to me next month, and the month after that, and the month after that, and say, hey, I'm sorry, I just saw that you reached out to me. What do you got going on? And that's going to start to compound, and it's going to start to roll forward, and it's going to start to roll forward. So think about that. Don't think in your circle of what's going to happen right now. Think about what's going to happen down the road. Think about what's going to happen into the future. Think what's going to happen 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 months from now, when you're putting all those, what I call those social media billboards, into somebody's inbox, and you're knocking on their door, and you're knocking on their door, and you're knocking on their door, and you're following up with some people, and you're putting them in your follow-up pipeline. Because know this, that just because somebody raises their hand and says they're interested doesn't mean they're ready to go right now. It means that when you reach out to them and say, hey, would you be open to taking a look at earning a little bit of extra money on the side, or an additional income, or however you want to present that, or working from home to earn a little bit of extra cash, or looking at a site, however you want to present that, and they say yes, remember, you just ask them if they're just open to looking. That's all they're interested in doing. They're going to look to see what you have. You may present it to them. They may go, I don't want to do that. right? Because you're trying to find out if they're in or if they're out, or not even necessarily if they're in, if maybe they just need to move to the next step and get some more information. So whatever your deal is, just because you think it's the coolest thing since sliced bread and peanut butter, they may see it and go, because I've sent a lot of people a presentation, they start watching it and they bail, right? They just will get halfway through and and I can tell they're not interested. And I will still follow up with them and say, hey, I noticed you watched the presentation. What do you like most about it? And then I just wait to see what they're going to say. I did the follow-up. The cool thing about the follow-up was I sent out a bunch. I think it was like, I'm doing 53 a day right now. And I sent out some, I don't even know what day it is. It's the 4th. But somewhere in my group, I had a couple of people that said, yeah, they would watch it. I think it was like 5 or something the day before yesterday. I sent it out to them. I told them I was going to set a follow-up time. I set the follow-up time and set it out to them. I followed up when I said I was going to follow up. And my question was, now, see, I know because my software tells me whether or not they watched it. I knew they didn't watch it, but I sent the message anyway and said, hey, what'd you like most about what you saw? And guess what? Guess what happened? Automatically got a notification that they started watching it, right? Because I held them accountable. I bet you there's a lot of people that set a time that aren't going to follow up, that don't follow up. If you're not following up with people when you said you're going to follow up with, they don't believe you're going to follow up. They probably didn't believe that I was going to follow up with them. So when I saw that they watched it, right, the one prospect actually replied back, said, oh man, I'm sorry, I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to start watching it now. And they went and watched it. One person got about halfway through, and I went back to the same thing. And I followed up a little while later, and I said, hey, I noticed you watched the presentation. They're like, dang, he even knows I watched the presentation. What'd you like most about what you saw? And then they came back and said, you know, I'm not interested. I said, well, great. If you know anybody that's looking to make you a little bit extra money working from home on the side, appreciate a referral. Boom, I'm out and move to the next one. The next guy ghosted me, right? Didn't reply back to anything. I know they watched the whole presentation, even raised their hand and said, I want to join. So I sent a text message because I have the phone number. I left a voice message, and we'll see what happens, right? Because you just don't know where people are. I don't know this person on the other end of the computer, although they did watch the presentation, they did indicate they want to join. Now it's a matter of getting them to move to the next step. They may not have any money. They might be too embarrassed to say that. They might have had to go on a shift to work and have to work 52 hours or something and might not get back to me next week. So now they're in my follow-up bucket because they sort of identified themselves. So I'm going to follow up with them through a follow-up process to see where they're going to go. So my job, again, is to prospect, follow up, and engage. And the engaging part of that in the follow-up is reaching out to them. If I've got your phone number, you are in trouble. That's all I can say, because I'm going to call you and I'm going to text you and I'm going to follow up until you tell me to go jump in the lake, because that's my commitment to making sure, because you might know somebody that is going to make an impact and go out and change a bunch of people's lives, right? So my goal is to help you identify those people that you can go out and make an impact with. So that's my personal mission here. 7, 14, 21, 28, 53 reach outs a day until I figure out I need to do more to be able to reach those goals that I want to get to. And I'm not going to get discouraged because I don't know who's going to enroll, when they're going to enroll, when they're going to raise their hand. But if I keep reaching out to people with those goals and I can track that, how many people I reached out by the 7th, how many people I reached out by the 14th, how many people I reached out to by the 21st and the 28th, and I do that every single month, I can measure those, and then I can see how many people I sent presentations to, I can see how many people I followed up with, and I can see how many people are enrolling, and I can track that every single month. Now I have a calculatable system that when somebody new comes in, I can say, watch this. You send out this message to somebody, they say yes, you send them this link, you put them into this system, you follow up with them, you track whatever you do. The more you do, the more you do, the more you do. If you want more results, you reach out to more people. Simple math, right? So this is Forrest out in St. Louis. If you got some value, share your #1 takeaway. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing to do about it. No more empty refrigerators. Go out and make an extreme impact. Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.